Right, good morning and welcome back to the channel. Well, it's actually afternoon, I think. Right, we're going to get on the bike and get down the road. Slightly different video today. I'll see you in a minute. Yes, thanks for joining me again. I do appreciate it as always, and a slightly different video today. This could be the first time you've actually watched my channel, because you might be here for the films rather than the motorcycling part of it. So I'll just explain really quickly. I'm a vlogger that goes out on a motorbike and generally talks about motorbikes, but today I'm going to talk about my top 5 favourite films. So if you're here for that, welcome along. And as everyone always says when they do this sort of thing, this could change. This is not set in stone, except one, and that is my favourite film of all time. That is absolutely set in stone. But the other 5, the countdown, they could sort of be in each other's place, really. Anyway, no further ado, let's get on with it. Number 5, and that is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I'll get a picture on the screen for you to see the DVD. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Now, when I was a kid, there wasn't a lot on TV, but late at night there used to be 50s science fiction movies, and I just absolutely fell in love with them. This is the original one and is recognised as an absolute classic. So this sort of represents really my love of that genre, that 40s and 50s science fiction monster movie type movies. It's an absolute classic. If you haven't seen it, it's brilliant. It's beautifully filmed. It's quite ahead of its time in many ways. Very eerie. An absolutely fantastic movie. So Kevin McArthur, I think that's the name of the guy, the lead actor. I'm sure I'm right there. A fantastic movie. So that's my number 5. The original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Right, let's come up to number 4 then. Number 4 in the list. Now, I'm not a massive fan of action movies, and I wouldn't say they're my favourite genre. Just get past this junction here. But if there was a movie that had quite a bit of action in it that I'd have in my list, it would definitely be this one, and that is The French Connection. Now, I don't know if you're a movie buff, obviously you'd have seen probably all of these movies, or most of them. The French Connection, spectacular film, brilliantly acted. The tension that's built with it, the realism, the gritty realism of it is absolutely stunning. And of course, in its lead, Gene Hackman playing Popeye Doyle, who was based on a real character, actually, a real cop, and his the whole character and his obsessive attempt to hunt down this French drugs dealer. Brilliant movie, lots of fantastic set piece parts in this movie, including one of the very great car chase scenes. As I said, I'm not particularly into action movies, but if you love a car chase, generally, obviously, Bullet with Steve McQueen is seen as being the number 1, isn't it? Classic car chase. Well, the French Connection has surely one to match that, if not to better it. Incredible car chase scene through New York. If you haven't seen The French Connection, you owe it to yourself. It is a stunning, gritty movie. So that's number 4, The French Connection, the original. Right, now we come up to number 3. As I said, could be number 5, but we're going to call it number 3 today. And that is a fantastic movie with Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman, and that's called All the President's Men. Now, this is a political drama, if you want to call it that, all about the Watergate mystery. Mystery? It's not a mystery. The Watergate scandal, and it was the scandal that eventually brought down President Nixon, of course. And this follows as you, no doubt you might well know, follows Bernstein and Woodward, the two reporters who over quite a long period of time, actually a couple of years, managed to bring out all the corruption that was going on. An absolutely fantastic movie. Again, incredible realism. It's gritty. The two performances of the main actors are stunning, brilliant, up there with the best in either of their careers. Absolutely superb. So that's my number 3, All the President's Men. If you haven't seen it, you absolutely have to. Gripping movie, and one that just stays long in the memory, which I think actually is what makes a great movie, isn't it? If it stays long in the memory, and this really does, especially if you lived around that time when this actually happened, because of course all this was completely based on reality. Right, we come to number 2. I probably wouldn't, I don't know why I put this at number 2, but it's undoubtedly my favourite horror movie stroke science fiction movie of all time. A quite brilliant film, and that's the original Alien. Now, like a lot of the other films that I've mentioned, well, not a lot of them, but some of them, they've been remade, and generally I don't like remakes. The original is best, and that, in my opinion, is certainly true for Alien, that of course have had follow-up, many follow-ups in the genre, but the original Alien for me stands out. I remember going to see it. I was 19, in fact, 19 years old, and I took my girlfriend to the cinema, and it was a truly frightening experience in the cinema. It is now, even if you watch it on DVD, it's utterly brilliant. Why is it so brilliant? Because largely up until then, science fiction movies had been all silver spangled suits. Do you know what I mean? And this was utterly revolutionary. Even though these people were set in the future and on board this incredible craft, they were just ordinary people, dressed ordinarily. It was real, and there was all the dripping oil and water dripping in the carcass of the ship. It was all so natural, so real, and so the whole visuals of it was utterly revolutionary at the time, and so many movies have since then had to follow that and become more realistic science fiction movies. It was a stunning thing to see, and a masterpiece. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But then again, all the movies I've mentioned so far I think could be called a masterpiece. So now we come up to number 1, and this has been and always will be my favourite film of all time. I absolutely adore this movie. I watched it first when I think I was about, I'm guessing 12 or 13 years old, and even then it totally hooked me. I was just stunned by it, and it's from 1957, Henry Fonda, and it's called 12 Angry Men. This is a courtroom drama, and a lot of people say it's set in one room. It's not actually. Technically it's set in 3 rooms, but 99% of the movie is indeed set in just one room. And it is an acting masterclass. It's an ensemble piece where you've got obviously 12 actors batting off against one another, playing off against one another. A fantastic script, and even though it's just people sat around a table arguing, it sounds so dull as a premise, but it actually manages to be thrilling, exciting, and there's jaw-dropping moments in it. It really is an absolutely astonishing movie, and it's as I said, an acting masterclass, which I think is generally recognised to be just that. Right, well, if this is the first time that you've watched the channel, I hope you enjoyed that. That's my pick. 12 Angry Men at the top there, and that's the only one I can guarantee always will be at the top, because I just fell in love with that movie when I saw it, as I said, at about the age of 12, and I'll be honest, How many times have I watched it? It must be, and this is embarrassing, it must be 50 times, something like that. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it wasn't 50 times. And I've also watched it twice on stage, live performances of it. Both really good. One quite recently, actually. So there we are. That's my top 5. I'm going to come out with some more top 5s. I'm going to do my top 5 albums next, I think. So if you've enjoyed this, consider subscribing, give us a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.